Hey folks, how you doing? Papa Joe here. Dad gum, what am I gonna do when the summer gets here and it really gets hot? It 80 some odd degrees. I don't know. I know it's enough to make a fat man sweat. You know, my dad was a big feller, bigger than myself, and he had major issues when people called him big boy and all that. For some reason, it just don't bother me. But then again, he was a big feller all his life. I seen pictures when he was a youngin', and he just born big and stayed big. And that just kind of bothered him. It bothered him when he heard me talk about myself as a big boy and all this, or call myself a fat man every once in a while. Oh, he didn't like that at all. I was like, Pop, guess what? I ain't skinny no more. I was. Actually, when I was in boot camp in the Marine Corps, they had me on double rations. So they were trying to fatten me up. They should have waited 30 years or 20 years. And when I was in my late 30s, I started putting some weight on. And, where am I? Buna. B-U-N-A. Buna. Buna, Texas. One of these places you gotta, at least you ain't gotta drop your trailer, but you do have to unlock or undo your both air hoses and your electrical cord. Okay. Still doing coffee. The dispatch gave the wrong address. I went across the street down there a little ways, and it, after killing 20 minutes or so in there for them to figure out that I didn't need to be there at the warehouse, I need to come over here to the main plant. Thank you very much. Well, I come over here, got to go down here and get your trailer inspected, then come back up here and waiting office here while everybody and their brother need your pickup number and your trailer number. Don't y'all share any of this information? Every one of you is putting it in on the computer. Computers are our friends, remember? Don't ask me. And no smoking. Gotcha. Oh. They want you to watch a film most of the time. I didn't have to watch it. Have you seen our safety film? I said, I've seen a bunch of them. I said, what it boils down to is shit goes south in here, I gas on it. Works for me. They just laughed at me. So, and I told them I ain't the typical stuff, you know. Stay upwind from any of the smoke and stuff coming out of here, and watch on your fences for gathering points. And if you ain't seeing that, just watch for where all the employees are running. I got news for them. I'm going out that gate. It won't take me that long to fasten them hoses back up. Then I'll go out that gate. Oh. Done did that video this morning, told you about the show. Somebody sent me a message critiquing our show a little bit, which I don't mind. There's a lot we still have to work out. I mean, I realize that. James Rose likes that. And Michael and Bob and what was his name, Bruce, they called in. Folks, they're just call-ins. One acted like he thought Michael was part of the show. Well, he is, because he's calling, just like the other two. He happens to be my friend, and if he becomes a regular caller, so be it. If you happen to become a regular caller, so be it. Most talk shows end up with some folks that call in on a fairly regular basis. I look forward to that. I want to build a rapport with some of y'all. And I'm not worried about how professional we are. You know, I am, but you know what I'm saying. I've never been one to put on airs. If you've watched my YouTubes, then you know I don't put on airs. I mean, this is me. And that's what I told y'all when I asked you about starting a talk show, is what y'all thought, and what you get on YouTube, that's what you're going to get on the phone. And I don't want to pretend to be someone else. I don't want anybody calling in, or James or anybody else. How about let's just be ourselves? You know? There's nothing to prove, nothing to gain by putting on false fronts. And I definitely will not be doing that. You said that James was a little bit loud. Well, be glad that you could hear all of us. That's what we was happy about. We will fine tune and critique this stuff as we go along and as we learn. Right now, we're just trying to get it where we can be on the air and do the show. There's a call-in number that he's more worried about getting that call-in number done and operating, rather than us worry about if everybody's at the same volume level. That's going to happen. Now there's that first show I coughed quite a bit, and so did someone else. I don't know if it was James, his son, or who. But these things are going to happen too. I mean, I beat myself up a little bit after that first show. Now, Saturday night show, I had my headset on. You know, this is my headset. And I normally keep the mic down here like this, but when I'd have to cough, I put it up there, and I would try to cover up and try to protect y'all from some of my coughing. But once again, we're not professional journalists, we're not professional broadcasters, we're truck drivers that are just trying to do something a little bit different. Trying to make modern media work, modern technology benefit. We're trying to do something to help all of us for entertainment and learning. So, I mean, I'm not an investigative reporter, but I did try to ask Michael some questions because I knew Michael was new to trucking. I knew Michael had just made the switch from Swift to over here where we're at. So, overall, James and I was quite pleased with Saturday night show, and pleased enough that he called me yesterday asking if I wanted to do one Wednesday, and I said sure, why not. So we're going to attempt to do one. Well, we're going to do one Wednesday night, and it's going to depend upon people's availability, because somebody has to be there manning that computer. I think his son is volunteering to do it one night a week, and we'll see how it goes from there. So for right now, we'll do a Wednesday night at 7 o'clock and a Saturday night at 9 o'clock. And my wife asked me, which was a good question, she says, why 7 on Wednesday and 9 on Saturday? And I said, well, because that's what James said he wanted, and I don't care. Do y'all care? Is there a preference? Is there a difference? So, yeah, I got my 2 kicks off today. Then had to bounce over here like 100 miles. Told you a little bit about this run around. He was talking about me dropping this at the yard, and after I seen the actual miles, I told him that ain't gonna work. I ain't gonna make it up there in time. If I do, our local driver's gonna have to jump out their butt to deliver. Why? You know, it's, I don't know, 100 miles past the yard. I was whining about miles anyway, so you know, there's a couple hundred more miles. How long will it take to unload? I don't know. It's trucking. So it could be 5 minutes or it could be 5 hours. Who knows? Whatever it is, I'll deal with it. Ain't no big deal. And from there, I'll deadhead back down to the yard and grab another load and go somewhere. Now, being I had told him that I wanted to work on getting a few more miles, it's very possible that I won't just go south. I don't know. I just asked him to work on it and figure it out on what we could do to increase my pay a little bit. And I allowed that we both knew that the biggest thing hurting my pay was all the deliveries and pickups. Well, which is part of the nature of the beast. They could offer me a big old raise or something, but they didn't go there. Not yet. Who knows? So, I am going to take a full weekend off this weekend. Dadgum grass is growing like crazy. The neighbor that was supposed to have the big boy toys, he needed to work this weekend, and so did I. And he's just covered up. He hauls heavy equipment, and he was covered up. So I'm hoping that maybe this weekend he'll be able to get them. There's some of my property that I'm not mowing because it's so dadgum rough. And it's some of them areas where him and I need to get it leveled out some. Probably more him than I. I mean, I'll play on the toys if he allows me to. I'm not an operator. If he had a backhoe, I've operated a backhoe a little bit, but a dozer and all that stuff, I've played on them when I did constructions in South Texas years ago. That would have been back in the late 90s, I guess. Them operators, I was running their water truck and fuel truck and different stuff, but they love to get some of us truck drivers out there on that equipment because most of them had been or are truck drivers. And they got me out there playing on a dozer. I did the washboard thing. Yeah, they just laughing at me. I ran a motor grader one time. That was weird. That thing, it's got more levers and you can make it lean and jump and stand up and pretty much anything to get you coffee. I didn't do good on that one either. The rollers, now I ran the rollers good and the sweepers. So imagine that. And I played on some of the front end loaders and stuff like that. That was easy stuff. But the stuff that you're trying to cut the level with, cut grade with, I learned a lot of respect for them boys with that stuff. That was not easy stuff there. Well, good, they're starting to load me. And they're going to be rough, imagine that. I got to eyeball a little bit more of my property out there to see what I need to do with a couple areas. There's 1, 2, 3 areas that already got a pretty good mind what needs to be done to correct it. But there's one area that never flooded before that I'm not sure. And I might have to take off walking through part of the woods there just to see what it really is about. I don't know. It is what it is. That's what's going on in my world. I was a lazy bum this weekend. I didn't do nothing. Told you that earlier. Did a little bit of oven barbecued chicken. I didn't cook me no breakfast stuff to come out here. None of that kind of stuff. So, it is what it is. I will attempt to do gooder next weekend. I will try to I want to make them breakfast muffins for you. They're not your typical breakfast muffins. And I don't know where the wife came up with that idea at, or that recipe at. But I was a little bit doubtful there in the beginning until we made them. And then it was like, oh wow, cool. So we made them and they was pretty awesome. So I won't make those and share them with you. A buddy of mine did a meal type thing in a comment on one of my recipe videos, and his was on pork chops, which I like the idea of it and the sounds of it, but I want to I'm gonna change it up. That's me. Now I will do part of his, or I will do his. His was pork chops, stuffed pork chops, butterflied so to speak, and then stuffed. And then he did a gravy, which the gravy he was talking about doing with the pork chops I didn't like. It was a chicken gravy, you know, cream of chicken. I didn't know so many people use cream of mushroom, cream of chicken, and all that for gravy. I thought I was the oddball. Oh, there's the wife. Hold on. Alright, I'm back with you. That was Mama. Tell me what a chick magnet I was, what a sexy old man I was. Anyway, that's what I heard. She might not have said it, but that's what I heard. Oh, what the heck. Lost track of where I was. Pretty much had everything said anyway. I'm sitting here trying to be patient. Got a feeling it's going to be one of them days. Last week was one of them weeks. Damn, last week was rough. It was hard not to be a grumpy old man. But I'm still in the dock. It is what it is. Hey, y'all remember, God loves you, and so do I. You have a blessed day now. Be careful. Bye.